Hey everyone, Liam from Solitude here, and in this video today, I'm going to talk about what I believe is the world's most anticipated album, the forthcoming album by Australian prog rock / metal band Karnivool. Now, if you don't know who Karnivool are, they are a band that's been around for a long time, technically since the late 90s, but a lot of their work came out in the mid to late 2000s here in Australia with the release of their debut EP, Persona, their first album, Thermata, and second, Sound Awake, all in the 2000s. These albums were all met with critical acclaim and built them a huge following locally in their hometown of Perth, as well as in Australia. They then brought out their third album, Asymmetry, in 2013, which was met with praise, but not the same hype as the first two of their albums. Since then, 11 years have passed and not another follow-up album has come out. Interestingly though, over these past 11 years, the band has arguably grown a bigger fan base than ever due to streaming, the internet, and hype generally. I think the anticipation for the next album coming out is only helping that grow. So if we think back, there's been a couple of other albums recently that came out that used to be the pinnacle of most anticipated. Firstly, there was fellow Australian act The Avalanches, who put out an album in the year 2000 that was seen to be groundbreaking for the time. They did not put out another album for 16 years, and there was so much hype that built up. Then of course there was fellow prog rockers Tool, who took 13 years to put out a new album after so much hype built up. I think the same thing here is kind of happening with Karnivool now that it's got to 10 plus years. And also I think that kind of prog rock, kind of nerdy genre really helps as well with the anticipation. Arguably, you could almost say Karnivool are just about the second biggest prog rock band in the world now to Tool. I know that's a big claim, and I'm not the biggest prog rock aficionado out there, but I mean, they seem to be pretty big. I just keep coming across so many people online making videos dissecting Karnivool's music by either drummers, guitarists, bass players, or just music people in general. Now, 2023 was an interesting year for Karnivool because it was probably their most open and active since the release of Asymmetry in 2013. Now, let me stipulate they did bring out a new song in 2021 called All It Takes, but the rest of the year was a little quiet, and I think that was due to COVID mostly. But in 2023, we saw them go overseas again for the first time in a long time to play some shows and give a couple of interviews where they were very open about what they're doing as a band. Check out some of the words from their lead singer, Ian Kenny, here.
You're getting this beautiful, cool, mystique vibe around you, and we, like the ancient people, I saw them in 2013. It's guess working for you well that work on the quality rather than releasing too much.
Sure. It's not by design. I think thankfully or luckily we have a quality to it because we definitely don't have the quantity. But I guess that's what keeps people waiting for the band to see what we do next. And that's what keeps people coming back to the show as well, which is crazy, man. It's crazy.
How was it for the past couple of years?
Well, past couple of years, there wasn't a hell of a lot that happened because, you know, the whole COVID thing kind of stuffed it up. But if you go back, let's go back to 2013 when Asymmetry came out. So that's 9 years ago, right? Close enough.
We're there, yeah. Let's call it a decade.
Let's call it a decade. So back then, 2013, Asymmetry came out. We toured Australia, toured Europe, toured America, did the whole thing. And it sort of got us to 2015, into 2016, right? And we thought, cool, we'll go start the next record. And we did, and sort of hit some roads, and, you know, things change, the studios change, we move away, we don't live in the same city anymore, we'll kind of live separate. And sort of fast forward to now. Now, Karnivool only gets together a handful of times a year to write music. So it's not like it was 10 years ago. 10 years ago, we lived in the same city, we were different people, we didn't have families, we've all got families now and sort of stuff. So fast forward 10 years, we only get together a handful of times a year to actually write stuff. So that's put a huge delay in more music coming out, and the record. We've got a record sitting there. I think we've got enough songs for it. It's just a matter of finalising and committing to the music and getting it done. I don't know if it will be a record, maybe an EP, maybe 2 EPs actually, step towards it. But I think everyone has this assumption that Karnivool's full-time working on this record. We're not at all. It's the nature of being in a band for 20 years.
Right.
I don't think any of us thought we'd get to here.
And also hear from Mark Hosking, their guitarist.
New Karnivool is an interesting subject. We have hard drives full of songs. There's no shortage of material. I think the hard bit for us is compiling that and turning it into something that everybody kind of agrees on and loves. It's not going to be out tomorrow, let's just put it that way, but it is coming.
There's definitely new Karnivool music ready to come out soon, hopefully. And it may not actually be an album, it could be an EP or 2 EPs, but nevertheless, it's going to be huge whenever it comes out. I mean, there's songs that they're playing live this year that they've been playing live for almost 10 years now that haven't had an official release. So surely 2024 is the year that we get more Karnivool music. Whether that be singles, EPs, albums, I don't know, but it's hard for me to not picture this band putting out a 4th album soon that would take the cream for the most anticipated album in a long time.